beneficent, the most merciful, the truthful, and the most just. May Allah's Salam Alaikum. We thank Allah for allowing us to once again come together with you for a congregational prayer service and to remind you once again of the importance of the keeping up of prayer and keeping your duty to Allah. So we most of us are despair, and quickly Allah answers our prayers, and that He truly is closer to us than our. So as I was looking at the news media talking about the (9/11) event that happened 20 years ago, and this is the anniversary of it. And it's amazing to me how the pretension that people have. You pretend to be so concerned and caring about the 3,000 lives that passed away on that day, and the one who was behind it, the major one who was behind it, was found, as you said. Osama bin Laden was found, and retribution was exacted upon him and many of those who were a part of that. But you got a man living in this country that's responsible for over 650,000 Americans dead and still dying, and he walking around free. His name is Donald Trump. All of the deaths from this COVID-19 virus have one man that if he, most would not have happened. And yet you act like you in a state of shock and grief over what happened in that terror attack, when you had a man in the White House attacked your country and even inspired others to try to overthrow your government right here in the United States, and you did nothing thus far. So, well, you a piece of work. Anyway, like I said, you better be glad that I'm not the Attorney General. Every one of them that was part of that January 6th thing would be in jail. And these that's coming up there talking about they gonna protest to get them out of jail, they'd be in jail too. You don't sympathize with people who tried to overthrow your government. Huh? unless you done lost your mind. Anyway, I'm not going to hold you no great long time today. It's just disgusting, some of the things that I see. And it is, when you look at the history, as I was telling you, as you look at the history of the conflict, the wars that they talk about, uh, Vietnam, and then talk about uh, Afghanistan, Iraq, all that, all of those countries that you were supposedly at war with. Now, many of the people that you was at war with are citizens of your country, including Japan, including Germany, including Russia, and all of these. You as I said, there are no real permanent enemies on the earth. It's just people depend on who's in politics and what their agenda is. Because now we know that even though you tell us you are a democratic republic and democratic principles of what you would like to see, we know that's just your marching slogan. Because we see here in this country that you don't really respect democracy yourself. No, you don't respect human beings to vote for their leadership and that kind of thing. You don't. Mm-mm. No. So, you're a nation full of hypocrites.
Excuse me, sir. Somebody with a restricted number raised their hand.
Not in my prayer service, he ain't. You put your number in there and then you can talk with me. I want to know who you are. Because you ain't even got no business in here. So, so anyway, uh, you know, you notice I don't say to when I'm greeting you in prayer service, those who are hungry and thirsty for righteousness, because I shouldn't have to, because the only ones to be in my prayer service is uh, those who are my followers. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Put him out.
Yes,
You
sir.
want him in here. So, yeah, you call in tomorrow and I'll talk to you so that the whole world can hear your stupidity. But not here. You unblock your number so we'll know who you are. Coward. So, so we there's a lot of things that I want to share with you, but I'm not going to share with you today. I'm going to wait until tomorrow where we have those 4 hours, and then we will go on. But I want you to remember, if you then it's time acting like a believer. I'll repeat that. If you are a believer, it is time that you start acting like a believer. All you lukewarm people, that's you know, sometime you with us and sometime you ain't. Time for that's just about gone. You better get your mind made up because uh, as the old saying goes, justice too long delayed is justice denied. A choice too long made is a choice already made. If you ain't made up your mind that this is what you're going to do after years and years of being with me, it's because your mind was already made up that you ain't with this. You trying to live in both worlds. And frankly, I'm getting sick of it. How could you be around me? Any of you that are around me, you'll be around me and you don't know me. I'm not a person who is not true to what I believe in. I'm true to what I believe in. All the way down to the where the book says, for all this, his anger is not turned away, but he still stretches his hand out to us. Huh? You you better look, I'm telling you, it's the wrong day and time to not be done made up your mind. Okay. So um keep up prayer, believers, and you know, be be what you say you are. I showed you these hypocrites, how they are. You Mitch McConnell giving that speech about let the people decide in an election year, that kind of thing, and he went against his own speech, didn't he? Farrakhan the same, huh? I mean, just a bunch of hypocrites. Uh, that's not the way. A Muslim is a Muslim, 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 and 4 days a year. You see, just like every other creature that Allah made, He's that all the time. Even when He's sick, He's still what He is. Huh? Yes. So, so I want you to remember to keep up prayer from anxiety, work, and make obedience to the truth from your Lord your exclusive object of devotion. Do you understand? The best preparation for your future is to see that your present duties to Allah. So remember that now. So let's stand and have prayer. Attention. Original salute. Ready front. Prayer position. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. Allah is the greatest. And I bear witness that I know of none who deserves to be served and worshipped beside thee. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Most Merciful, all holy praise is due and be to thee, O Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the most merciful Master of the day of reckoning. Thee do we serve, and thee do we beseech for him. Allah, please continuously guide us and keep us on the right path and way, the straight path and way of thee and those upon whom thou hast bestowed thy favors, and not the crooked paths and ways of Satan and those upon whom thy wrath is or will be brought down, nor the foolish paths and ways of those who go astray or who are led astray, even after they have heard and been given the true understanding of thy holy word and teachings. Truly, I have again turned myself to thee, O Allah, striving to be totally upright, to thee who originated the heavens and the earth, and I am not of the polytheists. Truly my prayers, my sacrifices, my life and my death are all for thee, O Allah, the Lord of the worlds. No associate hast thou, and this am I commanded, and I am of those who submit. O Allah, thou art the King. I know of no God but thee. Thou art my Lord, and I am thy servant. I have been greatly unjust to myself, and I confess my faults and weaknesses. So please, and my true brothers and sisters, continuous protection against all of our faults and weaknesses. For none grants protection against faults and weaknesses but thee. And guide us to and instill within us the best of moral character and thoughts. For none can guide us to and instill within us the best of moral character and thoughts but thee. And turn us away from and remove from us the evil and indecent moral character and thoughts. For none can turn us away from and remove from us the evil and indecent moral character and thoughts but thee. And O Allah, we beseech thee for thy help and ask thy protection. And we believe in thee and we trust in thee. And we seek thy help to laud thee in the best manner, and to never be ungrateful unto thee, and to cast off and to forsake who is disobedient unto thee, and to remove from ourselves all things that are displeasing unto thee and beside thee. And O Allah, please continuously guide us among those whom thou hast and wilt guide aright, and preserve and perfect us among those whom thou hast and wilt preserve and perfect, and befriend us among those whom thou hast and wilt befriend, and bless us in whatsoever thou dost grant to us, and deliver us from the evils of what thou hast judged. For surely and truly thou judgest, and there's none that can judge against thee. And surely and truly he whom thou befriendest is not disgraced. Now, O Father, Allah, in heaven praised is and be thy holy and righteous name. Let thy kingdom come and thy will be done on the earth, as it is written in the heaven. Give us this, the Sabbath day, the understanding and hearts that will forever be inclined to, obedient to, and believe in thy holy and righteous word. And forgive us our trespasses. And please help us to forgive those of our true brothers and sisters who may trespass against us. And leave us not alone during the times of temptation and trial, but stand by us and deliver us from all evil. For thine is the kingdoms of the heavens and the earth, and the power and the glory over them are thine forever and ever and ever. Ameen, Ameen, and Ameen. Attention, hut. Original salute. Ready, front. You may be seated. And, did anyone have anything they wanted to ask me before I let you go? Did the person put their phone number down there? So we in uh, our prayer service, we don't want foolishness. This is something we, as believers, we come together to do. You notice, just like a wolf, when he see the shepherd, he try to hide over there in the thicket. You know, as long as the shepherd is around the sheep, the wolf can't get to him. You understand? So um, I stand up and talk to people for hours and hours and hours, and I make myself available and give them every opportunity to argue with me in our regular meetings. Do I not? Why would they want to come into our prayer service? They don't believe, so they don't want to pray with us. So why come in there? Huh? I actually do you a favor when I don't let you clown in here. Allah is swift in retribution. Those who was in here doing all that noise making and stuff found that out. Allah only respites them to let them fill up the cup. Then when He pour it on them, then it's a if I woulda, coulda, shoulda. Huh? Yeah. Just like that boy that was a radio host that was misleading people out there, telling them don't take the vaccine and don't get it and don't do this. Next thing you know, he had COVID and was wishing he had taken it. Huh? Then on to advise you that you should take it now. Oh, what now? Okay. Keep clowning. You gonna regret that. Of course, I've seen that again and again, not just with this COVID-19. I saw that with drugs. People that was doing heroin and that kind of stuff. Talking about so and so couldn't handle it. I can handle it. Huh? And all the time it was handling him. Mm, mm, mm.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, sir.
It's two people with their hands up.
Okay. Unmute.
Yes.
One at a time.
May Allah bless you, sir.
May wa alaikum ala salam.
Sir, did you see what you said about the YouTube had went out for like 5 or 6 seconds when you said that the best preparation for your future is to make sure your current duty to Allah then it went out?
Well, you could have finished that one on your own. Is to see that your current duties to Allah are well done. That's the best preparation for any future. Is make sure that your present duties to Allah are very well done. Okay. What was the other one? May wa alaikum ala salam.
Why couldn't the Honorable Elijah?
I can't make it. Tell your mama to help you out there.
He said, why couldn't the Honorable Elijah Muhammad stay?
And was completed. Like it's just like with anything. That's the reason why Jesus couldn't stay. That's the reason why Moses couldn't stay. A job to do, and when the job that Allah to do was completed, then it was time for them to go. And so, I want him to leave either. But as he said, it is expedient for if I don't go away, the conqueror come. I was not going to compete with him. I would have been still following him. So, in order for me to come into the knowledge and come into the position that I was destined for, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had to create a vacuum. With his departure, a vacuum was created. I could feel. And nobody coming behind him but God. He told everybody that. And tomorrow, if you remember, you asked me to expound on that further, and I will, because that's on anyway. So, I'll remind me tomorrow, and I will go into more depth of that. See, it's just like with school. I remember when I was in school, by the time each semester was halfway over, the teacher that I had, I was comfortable with. And for the most part, we got to know the teachers, and it was like a big family in the classroom. But at the end of the semester, we had to leave that teacher. And sometimes some of us would even shed tears because we didn't want to leave that teacher. But the teacher would tell us, you got to go now. This is you finished my class. And then we had to go to the new, get acquainted with a new teacher to finish our education. So, so I understood that, when, I understand it much better now, why Jesus said that it's expedient that he go away. But when you need comforting, it's generally because of a great loss, you're in grief over something. Well, everyone who was grieving at the loss of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, their grief should now have been turned into joy once they hear me, because I'm fulfilling what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told them. He said the nation will be rebuilt, never to fall again. So you see, the whole world is listening to me now. And it's only going to grow. It's not going to diminish. And everyone who tries to fight me is soon not going to have a mind. They're going to lose their minds. So don't be afraid of these people. The scripture tells you to let the Lord be your fear and let him be your dread. And that Lord that it was talking about is standing here talking to you. And those who from Missouri, well, they will be the example for those who had faith. Do you understand? Okay. So, so just let the when you see people that rush in where angels were afraid to tread, just watch what happens to them, and you will understand. It's just like when I told you who came out here and asked me was I still mad at him. That tell you right there, he didn't forget me. Why he didn't forget me? Because ever since that time he mistreated me in his courtroom, Allah put some on him. Yeah. You know, I know what's going to happen to you. I already said what he was going to do to whoever fell on me. So, so just but you bring that back up tomorrow why the messenger had to go, and I will be more than happy to expound on it in more depth. Okay, you know, 'cause I didn't want him to go. Like many people wanted to get him out the way so they could be thinking they gonna take his place. I never wanted to get him out the way. You know, no, as he said, and because I've said these things, sorrow have filled your heart. But nevertheless, he said, I tell you the truth. It's expedient for you that I go away. For if I go not away, the Comforter will not come. It's just like when it's time to be born, the baby got to be separated from his mother. He can't, and he just can't. That's the way of life. That is part of the circle of life. It's like just like uh, the messenger was there for me, and I could always, when I was having a rough time with some of the hypocrites that was around me, I could look at him putting up with it, and I could say, well, if the messenger can put up with it, so can I. And he strengthened his presence strengthened me. Until one day, just like in nature, uh, while a mother bear go off to look for food, she let the baby climb up in a tree until she come back. One day she go and she don't come back, and he's on his own. Do you understand? Why? Because the mother bear is not the one that the baby has to depend on. Allah is the only independent one and upon whom all things depend. Do you understand? So every child eventually has to leave mother and father, and have to uh, depend on the truth to guide them, just like every other creature depends on truth to guide them. Do you understand? The truth that is put in their nature. Yes. As Allah said, set your face for religion, turn yourself for religion, being upright. The nature of the knowledge that was made by Allah. As the messenger said, King James didn't make no Bible. And the Bible was made by us, and the Holy Quran was made by us. The nature made by Allah through his prophets, in which he has created men. Huh? Allah created righteousness. There was no righteousness until Allah created righteousness. I didn't hear you. Sure as I tell you. So, so all praise is due to Allah. So that one question leads into a whole lot of other areas. That's why I told you I go into that with you tomorrow, and that um, No one had ever asked me why did the messenger have to leave. But anyway, uh, that is something that is replete in the history, that we sent Warner after Warner. See, Allah does not author confusion. If you got two Warners, then people can say, we don't know which one you want us to listen to. But if it ain't but one at a time, then it ain't but one to listen to. One shepherd and one sheepfold. One faith, one baptism, and one Lord at a time. I didn't hear you. All right. So, that is the lesson that these people in this country used to understand. You don't have but one president at a time, but now every time they get one, they ignore him and start running against him. They done lost their minds. But anyway, I'm not a person who follows crowds. I follow truth. President Biden is a decent, respectful man, and I will show him the respect and honor that he has shown to us. You know, I mean, if you want to keep on bringing up uh, the past, you notice. If anybody had a right to bring up the past, it's me. Yet, when I talk about President Biden and some other Caucasian people that I know, you never hear me even talk about slavery and what their people did to us. You know why? Because by their deeds and their actions, they show that that wasn't in their heart. And if it was, it ain't now. When you get on people about something and you see a correction, it's just like that Caucasian that called me after he and I had some words, and he called me up and said, "Brother Muhammad, I want to apologize to you." Before he got it out of his mouth good, I knew where he was going with that. And if he had been pricked in his heart enough to offer me an apology, then it's because Allah pricked his heart. And I certainly did forgive him. And me and him, we neighbors now. We could become friends. It's no problem, because I'm not a person who thinks that I have my own righteousness. There's not a soul on the earth. There's not a just man on the earth that, or has ever been a just man on the earth that uh, was sinless. Not one, including this one standing here. But I want to be perfect. I want to be sinless. And by knowing that I've had my share of wrong, it makes me understand that I can't be standing up here holding people to a standard that I can't even live up to. Huh? So I needed forgiveness so I can forgive. It's hard to be patient with people and things that you can't understand, but when you can understand it, then you can be patient with others. So my grandson asked me a question there that is goes into some depth there. so So I can't teach it today. So you remind me tomorrow, and I will go more into depth with it. Um, any any uh any more questions? Derek, you already knew the answer to that. Reaffirmation. I think I think you knew how to finish that. You can trust um, your intuition. First time I said that either. So I'm pretty sure you had an inclination that that's what I was going to say, which tells you that you are becoming one. Yeah, we are. Our minds, it's just like even. I'll show you what I mean. All of us who went through the school system of the United States, um, uh, basically, we have the same mind. Who's the father of your country? See, I can read your mind, George Washington, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you know. And so, I mean, when you do math, you notice 2 times 2 is 4. That's what you say. That's what everybody who went through the school system says. Huh? That's oneness, unity. You see? And it don't make no difference what color you are. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. It's the mind that's in you that determines your brotherhood and your sisterhood. It's the mind that's in you. So let this mind be in you that was also in the Holy Prophet. This mind in you to connect to that incomplete mind that you already have. You understand? See? Even when the devil was made, Yaqub told them to go and replenish the earth, put more knowledge in the earth. You ask the Native American, if you listen to Native Americans, some of them is in the cabinet of the United States government right now.
Yes, sir.
They wouldn't have been with the knowledge that they had when the Caucasian met them. Huh?
That's right.
But by him subduing the earth and subduing them, he replenished them. He gave them more knowledge. And now they speak English just as well as he do. They speak, and we gave it to him. But they also think on a higher plane than they were thinking. Yeah, you can't. I bet you can't get the average Native American to want to go back to hunting buffalo and stuff like that. You man don't want to live in no tent, huh?
That's right.
So while they were doing their thing, thinking that they was better than everybody else, well, that's his, that was his idea. But Allah's idea was replenish the earth, because I want to get the whole earth ready for a new world, and they can't be ready unless their minds is elevated to another level here. And so Allah made the devil and told him, get on out there and do your thing, man. Subdue the earth and have dominion over everything that creepeth upon the face of the earth. In order for someone to have true dominion over you, they have to put their mind in you. I didn't hear you.
Yes, sir.
Then they truly have dominion over you. And now he done found out that he got dominion over everybody except the one who put the power of dominion in him. He ain't got no dominion over me. He doesn't come in here and show me what he knows, how to correct me. And that's prophecy. But anyway, I'm gonna leave it alone. I know I done got him mad now. But that's all right. You get mad, you get over it. So anyway, let's go and do what we got to do today. If there are no more questions, may Allah bless us and keep us safe and in our right minds. May Allah's Assalamu alaikum.
May Allah.